YouTube. It's Shells of the Destroyer. We're gonna watch a video by Atozi, I think, that is about Johnny Somali and kind of what's going on with him. It's an update on that situation. So grab your snackies, grab your buffies. Let me know what you're eating or drinking down below. Let's get to watch it.
Things are now absolutely terrible for the disrespectful IRL streamer who's now stuck in South Korea because he just got hit with another deepfake charge, which adds an additional 10.5 years of potential prison time. And
like a second deepfake? Like he didn't learn anything from the first deepfake? Or is it like he did them around the same time?
South Korea, which means the grand total of prison time that he's currently facing is 31 years in a South Korean prison. And he just admitted all the attention he's currently getting isn't even worth it anymore.
In the long run, do you think that it is worth it?
At this point, no.
I mean, come on. Congratulations.
I mean, dude's going to prison. I don't think it would be worth it either. Like, dude's going to, like, prison in a different country. Like, is he kind of like, oh, I don't think they're coming to get me to save me? Like, legitimate? Like, bruh.
You played yourself. Overall, harassing strangers in public should never be incentivized in general, but massive skill issue because you simply picked the worst countries to do it. Maybe not the worst, but definitely terrible countries to be doing this streaming in, because let's be real, if he was doing this in the US, most likely he would be out on bail and he would only get a slap on the wrist for any trials that he actually went to. And I guess for some reason, this absolute moron still operates like he's in the US.
Yeah, you doing? Good, what about you?
Good, can't complain. Currently recording this video in a business center in Weston and Boston because I'm currently traveling, but news happened, so here we are. But I mean, hey, I'm only stuck in a Weston business center temporarily. Johnny is stuck in South Korea for the foreseeable future.
Johnson's not facing up to 31 years in prison in South Korea after being hit with another charge. He's charged with a second count of distributing false videos in the form of deepfakes. Bam. Also, like, I really feel like a lot of these countries, Korea specifically, right, is like, hey, we can see he's not learning a lesson. We can see he's not sincere in his apologies or whatever. He's just going to continue doing this. And this isn't the first time something like this happened in Japan, right? Because he did Japan before he did Korea. And so it's like, we don't want people to continuously think it is okay to do this in our country. And if we just give him a slap on the wrist and let him go, they're going to think it's okay. That the worst case they're going to get is a slap on the wrist and don't come back. Don't come here, harass us. Don't come here and disrespect us. Like, congratulations, Johnny Ramsey, whatever your actual name is. You're the one that gets to be the example. That's basically what's happening.
Because, I mean, right after the trial I watched, he was playing it cool. He was like, oh, nothing's really going to happen to me. Nothing ever happens. I'll be out in no time. A couple months later, he's lost a lawyer. He's still stuck there. And new charges are dropping pretty much monthly at this point. I don't know if he's going to get let off the hook as quickly as he thought. So it now seems like reality is really starting to set in with this guy, as his only friend and financial supporter is starting to get extremely fed up with him as he's getting more and more charges. But at this point, most people know the story. Absolute moron, goes to Japan, gets in a whole bunch of trouble there, ends up doing about 3 months of jail in Japan, absolutely does not learn his lesson, goes to Israel, gets detained a bunch, gets a bunch of threats, ends up doing something that gets him permanently banned on his only platform that he actually makes good money from, which is Kick, and then he ends up fleeing Israel while still permanently banned from Kick. What does he do? Absolutely still does not learn his lesson. He then goes to South Korea, rinse and repeat, does the same thing all over again. Now, facing 31 years in prison because clearly he has still not learned his lesson. And nobody feels bad.
I mean, yeah, like that's the issue though. Like, he's got no real consequences. Not really. Like, yeah, he can't go back to Japan. He can't go back to Israel. He got banned from Kick, but he's still trying to find other places to stream from and get money from. Like, he really is living this life thinking that he doesn't have any, there's no real consequences, right? He's an American citizen. He can do kind of whatever he wants and it's fine. It's not fine. It's not fine. You cannot just do whatever you want. That is not how this works at all. So, yeah. Yeah.
Bad for him whatsoever because he has not learned his lesson whatsoever. He's just been given way too many chances to, pack things up and pivot the way he's making content, but instead, he just continues to double down. Even after admitting the attention is not worth it, he still wants the attention. And a lot of people have been asking me, hey, why isn't he currently arrested in South Korea? Well, South Korea apparently operates very differently, especially when it comes to foreigners. Apparently, they don't want to spend the taxpayers' money on taking care of Johnny. They want to put that burden to provide for himself on Johnny. So now,
Alright.
Johnny essentially is
Thank you for head pat. So basically, it's like, okay, they don't want to use tax money, government money, right, to hold him, feed him, clothe him, house him, all this other stuff. Yeah. Little hedgehog, thank you for the resubscription. I appreciate it. So they're being like, you got to figure it out, but you're also not allowed to leave. So you got to spend your money to survive. I wonder what they would do if like he couldn't do that though. Like what if he didn't have access to any money or he didn't have anywhere to be? I wonder.
homeless, except for Hank. He is now a burden.
Okay, wait.
Taxpayers' money on taking care of
Yes,
Johnny.
yes.
They want to put that burden to provide for himself on Johnny. So now, Johnny essentially is homeless, except for Hank. He is now a burden to Hank and Hank's family because I guess Hank thinks it's a good idea to continue to pay for him. Because Hank, for some reason, thinks that's the right thing to do, even though, as you'll see, it's destroying his life as well. Johnny is a sinking ship and he's dragging everyone he can down with him. Because Johnny is stuck in Korea for the foreseeable future. He cannot leave Korea until all of his court cases are done, all of his time is served, and all of his fines are paid. Then he can finally leave. So until recently, he's had 5 charges that stuck and then 1 that got dismissed. 2 of them are misdemeanors. 2 of them are obstruction of business felonies, which hold a maximum of 5 years each in prison. Then you have 1 deepfake charge, which has a maximum of 10.5 years in prison. And just now, they added another deepfake charge, which adds another 10.5 years of potential prison time in South Korea. So he's now facing a maximum of 31 years in prison. And I guess after all this, he's slowly starting to realize that he's ruined his life.
I talked to my mom this week and she was like, really just like, you need to stop drinking. Like, it's ruining your life. You're 24.
I don't know if it's drinking. Exactly. Like, I don't know what you guys think about drinking, I guess. Like, is it not just kind of like your inhibitions are kind of lowered? But you're still kind of like that person, you're just a little stupider, maybe? I don't know. I don't think it's liquor. Were you doing something else? That's maybe something harder. I don't know. I do wonder if he's maybe like, I don't know. There was something that was people were talking about. He apparently, like his mother apparently has said that like he had brain damage at some point, or like he got into an accident at some point or something like that. So like maybe he has legit brain damage. I don't know, because like I'm like he acts almost like he has something psychologically wrong with him. Like legit. I'm not even being like, oh, he's got like American privilege. I mean, like he legitimately seems like he has something emotionally and psychologically wrong with him. Like the chemicals in his brain isn't right. So like I legitimately wonder about some of this. Like either maybe he got brain damage because there were rumors that like he has suffered brain damage at some point, or like legitimately like he needs to be on some medication or something because the chemicals in his brain is messed up or something. I don't know, because like his like, but also maybe he just got a taste of fame and was like, I can be an asshole, and then got too deep into that. I don't know. There's just so much. I'm just like, what the fuck? This is what I mean about power corrupts. I've complained about this, about how sometimes like series that I like decide to like, hey, the villain wasn't actually a bad guy. It was circumstances. No, sometimes people are just bad. All right. Sometimes they get power and it goes to their heads and they become terrible people. Like, that is a thing. Okay. So it's like, oh, power corrupts, but like also this is kind of who you are as a person and it just gave you the opportunity. Whatever. I don't care. That the larger conversation here, right? Dude felt like he was untouchable and became just such an asshole. I don't even. This is just insane to me how off he. It's not liquor, is what I'm trying to get at. It's not the drinking. Like, I just.
Like, it's ruining your life. You're 24. You know what I mean? You don't need to be drinking and doing this crazy because, you know what I mean? Like, alcohol is definitely the reason why I've done so many great. And it's,
I don't
not
think it
back
is.
down, never give up. It's not backing down, never giving up. It's about just bettering yourself as a person. I think I'd truly be a better person if I didn't drink alcohol. I feel like it doesn't bring anything better. It doesn't bring anything positive to my life. You know what I mean? I can make good content without drinking alcohol, like, easily.
When John
I don't think you were drunk for every single freaking thing that you did. I do think you drank a lot, but like, I don't think he was drunk for a lot of the stuff that he did. I could be wrong, but like, dude.
To my life, you know what I mean? I can make good content without drinking alcohol, like, easily.
when Johnny is sober, he actually has some fairly reasonable takes. But that didn't really last for too long because, according to 15 Minutes of Shame, 1 single hour later, he was already drunk streaming.
Come party with us.
It's a quiet hour, so.
Okay, you like Diddy?
Yeah, I like Daddy.
You like this song?
Wait. Outside, I couldn't hear either.
Then come here and sit with us.
Dude, you bought another one?
No, it's the same one we had.
No, it's not.
Ace it is.
You finished the last one.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I'm lying to you. It isn't one. All right, come Hank. Don't the bike. Can you dance with Diddy with me one time?
Well, why are you like drinking so much, man? Come on.
Listen to Diddy with me, please.
Yeah, this is like you showed up an hour late to like your court hearing, like drunk or hungover or whatever, dude. Like you. First of all, I don't even think that's your money at this point. Like this dude does look like done. Like he looks pretty done. Look at him. He's just like, what are you doing? Like, how long am I gonna have to like parent you almost or whatever? Like, dude.
Well, why are you like drinking so much, man? Come on.
Listen to Diddy with me, please.
All right.
I mean, Hank here is just acting like a disappointed father, and this is Johnny's only lifeline in Korea. Why would he be actively trying to burn this bridge? I guess he just can't help himself. But the reason I say this is in an interview, they actually admitted that Johnny has ran out of money, and Hank is his only lifeline, even though Johnny will still go on and on about saying, oh, I actually have money, and I'm not broke.
Legal mindset and these channels, they spread like fake narrative that like I'm penniless and things like this. It's not true. But that
Hank, don't give him money. If I was Hank, I wouldn't give him any money. Like, maybe he does have some money if he's like buying stuff, because surely Hank didn't give him money. Like, here is money, or here is a credit card, or here is whatever. Surely that didn't happen, because that'd be dumb. That'd be so stupid. But then some people are, you know, like, he's still streaming somewhere. I forget where they said he's still streaming. But like, surely someone is sending him money, like either his mom maybe, or like people in his stream just to watch him crash, because people love to watch people crash and burn, right? So they're watching him crash and burn, they're egging him on to continue drinking, I'm sure, like all this other stuff. So like, he's still getting money somehow.
I'm destitute and this stuff for me. I've been living an okay life here. You know what I mean? I stay with Hank, so I don't really have expenses for living.
But here's the reality of the situation.
I have sacrificed my finances. You know, like I've actually like Johnny ran out of money because they refused Johnny to work. So I've been actually providing for him.
He's been helping me a lot. He's been helping me with not only like legal fees and stuff like this. You know what I mean?
Oh.
He's helped me pay for a lawyer and stuff like that. And he's a great friend. Like honestly, I respect him for that. And when I get out of here, a lot of it I do owe to Hank. He's a real man.
Yeah. So, and I, not to mention that I sacrificed my time and space here. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that all he's
Be honest. I couldn't live like this. I would just be like, nah, man. I mean, I guess Hank is in a situation where he's like, well, I'm in too deep. Like, I can't kick him out now because then, like, he's homeless. He doesn't have anywhere to go. And, like, surely it'll be over soon, right? But also, like, he's paying for the legal fees and stuff. And the lawyer, didn't one lawyer, like, drop already? Oh, my God. Johnny's dad already cut him off. Yeah, sometimes you have to do that. Like, it sucks, but, like, he's 24, right? He's 24, and he's just constantly doing illegal shit and getting in trouble in multiple countries. At some point, you have to be like, I'm not gonna bankroll this. Like, yeah, sometimes you have to let people just fail or fall or whatever because you can't help them. They're self-destructive, and they're not going to change until they actually hit rock bottom. Like, until they hit whatever they consider rock bottom, they're not going to change. He lost his public defender since he now has a paid lawyer. Okay. That's just, oh my God. I could not live like that. I could not live with this dude. I could not live in a situation where I'm just like housing someone and paying for all their stuff. Like, and it's like that. Absolutely not. Like this, absolutely not. Like, good luck, dude. Sorry, I'm not a real one, I guess. I care too much about my own peace. I'm gonna be honest.
My time and space here. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that all he says is he respects Hank for that, dude, if it wasn't from Hank, from what we're hearing, he would be homeless. So, I mean, the least he could be is a little more grateful to Hank because apparently he was starving before Hank took him in.
And I actually fed him back to health too. He was very unhealthy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, very skinny. Hank claims when I was living on my own in Korea, I was very skinny and gaunt, you know, because maybe my diet was not good. But Hank is definitely, people now on the internet are saying I have, like, a gut and man boobs now because Hank has been feeding. I've been on the Hank diet, and Hank has been feeding me so well.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro. Thank you for not letting me starve. Bro fist for that one. But apparently things are so bad that Hank, he's being supported by his family, and his family is threatening to cut that off because he keeps on funneling that money back to Johnny.
I risk my family not paying my tuition to help Johnny. Because I believe that helping Johnny was right thing to do. Pretty much.
He's holding an alcohol bottle. I think. I just noticed that. I think that's what it is. Is he not just holding an alcohol bottle in this? My cats were on their last leg when they got voice acting gig on my Twitch channel because I don't tolerate freeloaders who eat and don't contribute. My cats contribute by making me happy. They cuddle me, they exist, they're cute, they play, and I get to just get happiness from them. That's what they do. That's their jobs. Yeah, their jobs are my mental well-being. It's a heavy load. And the cats are moral support, yeah. One spoiled rich kid helping another. I mean, yeah, I mean, his money, I guess, comes from his parents. And so his parents are like, you're wasting our money on this dude that's gonna end up in prison. Like, no.
His mom hates me. Your mom hates me, right?
Yeah. My mom hates you. My grandparents hate you.
And you said, despite all that,
Despite
He's
all
my
that.
friend, and wrong is being done to him, and I'm gonna make sure that he gets out of Korea safely.
Yeah.
This is a real.
I mean, bro,
Why would you ever destroy your own life and ruin your standing with your own family over Johnny? This is clearly someone who's only using him because he has no options left. But that is still not stopping Hank from allegedly pulling some strings to get Johnny a new attorney. But apparently this attorney isn't from the big leagues. He is an attorney. That's about it.
So he's got both a public defender that was originally covering
Okay, hold on. Procedural update. Lawyer from Eastern District has officially registered in the Western District. Unclear how defense will split work as Ramsey now has a public defender and private lawyer. New lawyer is Gwang Ho Choi, tax attorney who hasn't seen court in 20 years.
Attorney. That's
Okay.
about it.
So he's got both a public defender that was originally covering his Western District case, and a private lawyer, which was on the East, which is now registered in the West.
I have a question. Hank has a lot of Chinese flags. Is Hank just not Chinese and he's just going to school in Korea? Like legitimately? I could be wrong, but like, is that not what's happening? Like he's just going to like college in Korea or whatever? Because I feel like that is a lot of what's happening. And the reason why I feel like that is I was friends with not a lot, but with some of the like Asian students when I went to college, and like the Chinese students were all from very wealthy families. And when I say this, they would buy like BMWs, top of the line televisions, PlayStations, Xbox, like they would like expensive computers, like they would buy like really high-end stuff. And then when they went back to China, they would like toss it. Like they would try to sell the car, but everything else they would just like toss because it wasn't worth it for them to like try to take it back to China. And it wasn't really worth their time to try to sell it. So they would just like abandon it. They would throw it away. So Hank is a South Korean draft. What? Draft for the CCP. Is he actually South Korean though? Yeah, I know they have like a military draft thing. Is Hank you? That's crazy. He's South Korean? Hank is? Okay. All right, I'm not going to get into the politics there, I guess. I was just like, maybe this dude comes from like a lot of money, because that has been my experience with foreign exchange students from China. He got deported from America. Oh my God. Okay.
So we're going to talk about this lawyer. So we actually predicted who this lawyer was. We had a leak. Ramsey gave a leak about who this lawyer was. We now know officially the lawyer is Choi Gwang-ho, or Gwang-ho Choi. Choi is his family name. So that is the lawyer that has registered. He is a tax attorney. He is a tax attorney. He has not been inside a criminal courtroom in 20 years. Let me say that one more time.
Hank is South Korean. He got deported from the US and he has multiple Chinese flags in his backgrounds. All right. All right.
He has not been inside a criminal courtroom in 20 years. He is a tax attorney. So what probably happened, and this is something that we said, was this is probably a friend of Hanky Poo's family
Hanky Poo.
who got put on this case.
And apparently his entire legal strategy for the deepfake charge has been a complete flop.
His whole big legal talk, his whole
Okay, I'm going to read this. Okay, today, May 8th, Ramsey has been officially charged with a second count of violation of the Special Act on Sexual Crimes for distribution of false videos, such as deepfakes. This effectively doubles his maximum possible criminal penalty for deepfakes. 2 charges. Each charge is a max of 10.5, so 10 and a half years. Thus, the max penalty is 21 years in prison for deepfakes. Spartan, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. He has Chinese heritage, though. Okay. Okay. I feel like there's a lot going on with Hank.
Strategy for the deepfake charge has been a complete flop.
His whole big legal talk, his whole big legal strategy was, we're going to settle with Bong Bong. We're going to settle with the female victim. We're going to pressure her. And they wanted to threaten her because she showed the image on her stream as well. But she showed it to show how mad she was about it, being like, this is wrong, right? So he tried to blackmail the victim. And not only did that fail, it literally backfired in his face. When he tried to blackmail the female victim, the prosecutor probably saw this and said, oh, hell no, we're going to double down and give you another one. And by the way, there will be no settlement on that one because it's with the Korean YouTubers that you are literally attacking and threatening with defamation. Remember, guys, Hank and Johnny have been threatening to sue the Korean YouTubers and myself, by the way, threatening to sue me with defamation in Korea. Do you think that people that you threatened to sue, and you are suing, you literally said you're suing them, you were threatening Dalgoon, you're threatening other people, do you think they're going to come to some settlement with you? By the way, that doesn't even really work in Korean court. Even if they were to say, oh yeah, we agree, the prosecutor could still bring it.
I mean, the issue with Johnny is most of what he says.
Like he tried real hard. There are some Asian cultures that you can sue defamation very easily. I don't necessarily think it's South Korea. But you can absolutely sue people over like bad reviews and stuff in some countries, because that's like defamation, whatever. Buddy. Not in this situation, I don't think. Like, they have a whole legal thing about deepfakes, and you're just showing off deepfakes, and like they're coming after you. This is wild to me.
Is hot air. Unfortunately for him, the judge and prosecutor might not know that because he's made a bunch.
How can you make such bad decisions so consistently? He thinks he's untouchable. Legitimately, he thinks nothing is going to happen to him, that he can do literally whatever he wants. And he thinks that, hey, if I threaten them, it's going to work out. I'm going to go scot-free, or they're going to drop it. It's fine.
Is hot air. Unfortunately for him, the judge and prosecutor might not know that because he's made a bunch of threats and he's said a lot of stupid stuff. So it's safe to say this backfires tremendously on this guy. Because let's be real, all he had to do after he got caught, even after making all the mistakes in Japan and all the mistakes in Israel, and I guess all the mistakes in Korea, once they charged him formally, all he had to do was shut up, apologize, be respectful, and he probably would have gotten left off with somewhat of a slap on the wrist. Instead, he does the polar opposite. He disrespects the judge, the prosecutor, the victims, the people covering it, and the Korean citizens. That's not going to give you any leniency with.
Can I be honest? There are 2 places off the top of my head, right, that you should be kind of like, that you don't fuck around in personally, right? One is airports. Anything around air travel, airport, the plane, whatever, do not fuck around. You will find out. The other place is literally a courtroom. Or not even necessarily the courtroom, the government building in which the courtroom is situated in. The entire building. All right? Like, that is legitimately not where you just start trying to swing around, you know? Like, oh, I'm so, big, bad, and awesome. I'm gonna disrespect everybody. No, you keep your fucking mouth shut and you be humble. Like, I don't. Oh my God. I just. Bruh. Like, I cannot believe, especially when you're the one going to the stand. Like, especially if you are the one involved in the legal proceedings. It just is insane to me.
Victims, the people covering it, and the Korean citizens. That's not going to give you any leniency with a judge. I mean, the dude is just playing the worst cards possible as a social experiment to see how the Korean justice system will handle that. But for every day that passes, it seems like the penalty is going to be harsher and harsher. Then to make things worse for himself, apparently, he lost a lawyer.
Just today, we had the public defender step down. Now, that is likely they were actually removed from the case. That means they weren't the ones who petitioned it. It was the court that did it, probably because he no longer qualifies for a public defender. When you have a private attorney, that typically disqualifies you from.
He was already saying that he was going to try to claim insanity. He recorded a video of him pretending like he was having a mental breakdown or crying or something like that. He's like, oh, I'm just going to say this. I'm crazy. And then they'll just like, let me go. And like, he literally recorded a video like that. I don't think they're going to let him make that claim because he recorded a video where he was mocking the fact that he was just going to claim insanity and they would let him go. So, just nope. Like,
from having a public defender. So it appears that he was disqualified from that.
So now the case will be even more expensive for Johnny or Hank, depending on who's footing the bill here. And Legal Mindset also issued a correction here saying the attorney has actually been to court 5 times in the last 20 years, or at least 5 times. But apparently he's lost all 5 of those cases. So Johnny has now hired a guy who's gone 0 for 5 over the last 20 years, and he's still acting up during his trial. I mean, by the way Johnny is acting, you would have thought, hey, he hired some big league attorney with this big boy crypto money he has. But the reality is different. And as I stated previously, he's now admitting that it's not worth it anymore. He's banned on Kick. That was the platform he could actually make decent money on, and they're most definitely not going to take him back. And we learned that from Ice Poseidon.
In the long run, do you think that is worth it?
At this point, no.
So now Johnny is permanently banned on Kick. He's also permanently banned from Patreon, apparently, and Airbnb.
I'm permanently banned from Patreon. Permanently banned from Airbnb. I don't even know how. Somebody sent some kind of article to Airbnb. They permanently banned Airbnb.
So it's hard for him to make a living streaming. It's harder for him to collect donations. And it's hard for him to live somewhat cheap because Airbnb is a good way to live cheap when you're long-term staying abroad. So
I can attest to that. Every time I've gone, well, I have stayed in hotels in Japan. I'm not going to say that I haven't. I've absolutely stayed in hotels. When I'm going with multiple people, a lot of time, Airbnb is pretty affordable for visiting Japan. The last time I went, though, it was not. I ended up staying in a hotel instead because it was like way cheaper than any of the Airbnbs. I don't use Airbnbs in the States. I'm going to be 100% with you. I just get hotels here, but I'll use them when I go abroad. Hotels in Japan are nice. They're also very small. They're cramped. At least the ones that I stay in, because I don't stay in super expensive ones. Hi, sup? So like they're pretty nice, but they're just like very cramped. So, but do they have AC? Well, let me tell you, the one that I last stayed in, it was the hotel would control whether its heat would work or its AC would work. So you couldn't be like, oh, I want it to be cold if the heat was set on, if that makes sense. So like a lot of times I would have to just open the window. Cause like I went in, like late March, early April. So I'd have to like open the window to try to get cold air because it was only set to heat. And I like to be cold when I sleep. So it kind of sucked. So, you know, doesn't Japan have the little sleeping pods? They do have capsule hotels, but a lot of capsule hotels, you have to I haven't been to one, but a lot of them are like either female only, male only, or like they might not allow foreigners. So it really just kind of depends. There are some that you can find, but if you're traveling with people, it doesn't super work out depending on who you're traveling with. It's cheaper just to get an Airbnb and split it like 5 ways or whatever.
Options here are Hank's place or expensive hotels. That's tough. But that was the quick Johnny Somali update. I will return home soon, so I'm not recording the next video in the West End Business Center here in Boston. And I'll be back in my studio with my microphone that everyone says looks kind of sus. But hey, it's a whole lot better than the phone. But hopefully, the phone makes do for now. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe. YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
I regret doing all of this. Dudes, oh my God. The whole courtroom, the gavel and everything just in his face, like thrown at him. For it's not just the book. It's not just the book getting thrown. It's the whole courtroom. I swear to God.